Between you and me, don't tell anyone, I'm a little scared to put a leotard back on. Should we face that fear together right now? I don't think I'm ready. The real question is, can you hear my washer going right now? Because if you can, I apologize. If you can't, then we're good to go. I just can't really tell. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Goldie, and this video is going to kind of be a get ready with me for ballet class. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Just to give you like the Spark Notes version of my life, I decided to leave my professional ballet company in the beginning of 2020 to focus more on my mental health. And since leaving 4 years ago, I really haven't been back into the ballet world until very recently, where I decided to slowly find my way back to ballet and open ballet classes. So in today's video, we are going to get ready for a ballet class together. I have a little bit of time before I have to leave, and this class is a class that I've taken in the past, and don't mind this hole in my sweats. This is where we're at today. I'm like still in my pajamas, but anyways, I've taken this class before. It was a studio like around the corner from my house at the time. I'm really excited to go back. Getting ready for a ballet class as a professional ballet dancer is very different to how I get ready for a class now as kind of just a normal adult person that's taking class for fun instead of taking class in a company. What I wear is different, my approach to the class is different, what I need to do before and after class is very, very different. So I thought I would take you along and kind of talk about those big differences. And while I'm sitting here talking about it, there are some things that I'm like struggling with when it comes to getting ready for ballet class. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with is like figuring out what on earth I want to wear now that I am not in a company. And you might think that's ridiculous, but nowadays when I go to a ballet class, I'm like borderline still in my pajamas because that's what feels best for me. So kind of as like a challenge for myself, I thought I would bring you along this process of getting ready for a ballet class to maybe like break out of like my normal tendencies or like the normal things that I grab to wear to ballet class. First things first, I'm gonna go do like my classic makeup routine. Watch my last video, I kind of walked you through that. I'm pretty much gonna do the same exact thing as I did last time. Then we'll go upstairs and try to figure out what I am wearing for this class. I might make a coffee. I feel like I always need a coffee before ballet class, especially like an evening class. Ooh, as soon as the sun goes down, it's really difficult for me to do anything with my life. But it's officially daylight saving, so I'm hoping that the sun won't go down so fast anymore. The struggle of living in Boston during the winter, it's rough. All right, let's go do my makeup. I have to be careful because I don't have as much time as I think I do. So we're kind of just gonna go speedy through my makeup. The issue at hand is not my makeup. I know how to do my makeup very confidently. As I'm like re-entering the ballet world, what really has been like in my brain lately is like what on earth I should be wearing to ballet class these days. And like I was just talking about, when I was in a company compared to now, like where I'm at with my life now is very, very different when it comes to, I think it might be time to get more of this. My life is very different, and the way I approach, here we go. The way I approach ballet is very different, and that is still true when it comes to figuring out what to wear. If you are a normal person watching this video, you might be confused because it's just like anything. You pick out an outfit and you're good to go. But with ballet, nothing is that simple. There are mental hurdles that you have to jump through, and my outfit is one of them. I'm also like a very dramatic person, so I could be being dramatic, but I feel like ballet dancers watching this video will understand exactly where I'm coming from. I was so the dancer that said or lived by the mentality, look good, feel good. If I looked good in class, chances are I'm going to dance well in class, and I still believe in it today. And I feel like that's like with anything in life. Oh my god, I just got that sunscreen in my eye. Oh, time out. I feel like that's anything in life. Like if you present yourself a certain way and you like your outfit, you like how you did your makeup, you put your hair up in a way that makes you feel good, you will all of a sudden feel more confident. And I was so that dancer in a company. I loved getting those nice fancy schmancy leotards. I might not have worried about my hair as much as like other dancers. I probably just like threw it up in whatever bun that worked that day. But for the most part, I tried to get my life together. I wanted to feel good in the studio, and whenever I went that extra effort, I always had a better class. And when you have a good class as a ballet dancer, you feel like you can take over the world. And on the flip side of that, when you have a bad class, you want to crawl into a hole. And that also sounds very dramatic, but it's true. There were times in my company that if I had a bad class, or I couldn't get on my leg, or just everything felt like it wasn't working, I would like walk out, go downstairs, collect my thoughts, collect myself, and then like try to regroup. One of the beauties of not being in a company anymore is that I don't have a full rehearsal day after my classes. I can just focus on class. I can just focus on that hour and a half. That is huge, because when you have a full rehearsal day, you obviously have to take class differently. Like if I had 6 hours of, let's say we were doing Swan Lake, and I was in my pointe shoes for 6 hours being a swan, and my day was gonna be exhausting, I probably like wouldn't like try to kill myself in class earlier that day, and I would try to like save my energy because there was a lot that I was gonna have to get through. Or like if I had a light day and the ballets that we were working on were like easy peasy, I would like go balls to the wall in class, and I would like come out drenched in sweat because I knew that I could do it. But now I don't have to worry about that, so I can kind of like take class however I feel like taking class, which is incredible. I'm sorry I'm going like so fast with my makeup. Maybe I'll do like an in-depth ballet class makeup tutorial, but I really don't do anything groundbreaking at all. I mentioned this in one of my other videos that I posted recently, but I have been so inspired by all of the creators on YouTube and TikTok that are either starting ballet in their adulthood or going back to ballet after leaving in their 20s, 30s, wherever they are at. Because as a retired professional ballet dancer, I think for the longest time I viewed ballet just in this like specific box that I've always viewed ballet, or ballet has always been to me in my training years into my professional years. Because I took 4 years away, I was able to kind of like explore what ballet would look like on my own terms, which is what a concept. It has been so much fun to like reestablish my relationship with something that I have done my entire life, and at times in my life felt like my entire identity. And I have worked so hard to find an identity outside of ballet and grow as a person in the world that feels really empowering to come back to that same thing with a new set of eyes and new perspective and new freedom. Because now I get to do what I want, and it feels really fun and good. That's kind of like all the makeup I'm gonna put on today. I put a little eyeshadow on. Cute! Wow, fancy. But I really don't have time to be doing this. But here we are. I also haven't been wearing mascara. I wanted to say that it's for this like big reason where like I'm trying out a new look, but I'm really not. It really stems from just being so lazy that I don't want to have to wash my mascara off at the end of the day, which is so silly. And I think I'm going to stick with that, because the last thing I want is to have my mascara running down my face in this class right now. But since we just did our makeup, I feel like that was in like, let's see, probably like 4-minute makeup routine. Let's go upstairs and try to figure out what I'm wearing because I'm a little stressed. Okay, let me preface this by saying when I left my company in 2020, I got rid of like a lot of the stuff that I used to wear every single day. The majority of the things that I got rid of were mostly like my warm-ups, my go-to jackets, sweats, pants situation. And ballet dancers have like a very specific way of dressing in class, and you might be thinking that you know exactly what they wear to class because of all the ballet core trends all over TikTok and Instagram and Pinterest. And like, while some of it is true-ish, the majority of it is like super, super far from the truth. 9 out of 10 times, ballet dancers are in like the most ratty old sweats and like shirts that they've had for over a decade, and like the comfiest of stuff that they probably wear like every day, and it's not always gorge. But there are also like very different vibes when you go to ballet class. You can be like this ballerina vibe in all pink or like gorgeous leotards, or you can be more sporty. You can spice it up. You can do bike shorts. There are like so many amazing options. My vibe lately is homeless ballerina chic, because my focus has not been on my outfits. My focus has just been on getting my body into class. Once I get my body there, I think that is a major win. I'm like barely looking at myself in the mirror at this point, going back to ballet class, because there are so many other things that I'm thinking about other than like my outfit choice. And to be honest, something that is a little tricky when you go back to ballet is your body does not look the same as it once did when you were dancing 8 hours a day every day. And I'm not trying to be conceited, but I look back at photos of me when I thought that I was out of shape and that I had to get back into shape, and I want to grab that old version of Goldie and shake her, because she had no idea. Like, I look at photos of myself and I'm just like, you look good, girl. And I'm not saying that I don't look good now. I'm trying to accept where I'm at today, and it's a constant, not struggle in my brain, but it's definitely something that I'm aware of, that like I'm choosing to love this version of myself. And some days I'm obsessed, some days not so obsessed. So when it comes to picking out an outfit, that definitely plays a role, because if I'm having like a fat day and I'm bloated and PMSing, the last thing I want to do is put on a pair of pink tights. So that's kind of like the thought process behind it. With that said, I'm trying to spice it up a little. And I recently went down to like my storage unit. I have this like little storage area in my apartment building, and I put all of my leotards and like all of my ballet warm-ups in this huge space bag down there. And I recently made Tucker bring it up. Hold on, let me get it. Okay. This is gonna like knock me over. This is my ballet wardrobe. This is worth like thousands and thousands of dollars. If you know what leotards cost, I could buy a house if I sold all of this. But these are all of my leotards, some of my warm-ups, even a pair of pink tights. But like, do I attempt to wear a leotard for this class tonight? Like, I don't know. I haven't worn a leotard yet since going back to ballet class. Between you and me, don't tell anyone, I'm a little scared to put a leotard back on. Should we face that fear together right now? I don't think I'm ready. I'm putting you on my floor because it's the only way I can do this without like killing myself. Dun, da, da, da. What do I even have in here? We got skirts. We got this warm-up dress thing. We got unitards. We have leotards that I got right before the world shut down that I never got to wear. We have these like cozy overalls that I used to love. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling very overwhelmed, and I don't really know what my game plan is right now. I feel like all black is very safe, but it's also like boring. This is me stalling in real time, because if I just go through my leotards, then it means that I don't really need to try them on, and then I'll run out of time, and then I'll just get to wear what I've been wearing for class every day, which is sweats and an old t-shirt. Oh, we even have trash bag shorts? Wow, that's insane. Okay, I whipped out my like tried and trues that I used to wear all the time that always made me feel gorgeous when I put them on. And I think that is like a really good place to start before I go any further down that rabbit hole. The first one I grabbed was actually, oh my god, these are so, they're so wrinkly. This was one that my friend had made for me, and it's super stretchy, which is always like what I look for. But something else that I look for, or not even look for, but something else that I love about this specific leotard is that it has like extra butt coverage. I don't love that all the time because I love like a high cut leotard, but something about a high cut leotard, it tends to like ride up your butt a little, which is never comfortable. But this one is like really flattering, always makes me feel good. The next one is this beautiful burgundy leotard with long sleeves. This is an Elevate leotard, Elevate dancewear, and I danced with Kansas City Ballet, and that's where Elevate dancewear is located, like their flagship store. Back in the day, I used to model for them. You would get free leotards, so I feel like my loyalty is to Elevate. And this was the leotard that I referred to as like my skinny leotard. It had like magical powers that whenever I felt a little chunky monk, I would throw this on and it would just snatch me in all the right places, which I love. And the color is just beautiful. So that was the next one that I grabbed. And then I thought grabbing a couple black leotards was a safe bet. This is this like really pretty mesh leotard with like an open back. It's from like a random brand that I have no idea. Ballet Rosa? I don't even know where this one came from. Next black leotard I grabbed was this one, which I feel like is like the most classic of classic leotards. This was actually like a really good audition leotard for me when I needed to wear all black to an audition. It's very flattering. The way it's cut is beautiful. This was an Elevate one as well. And then the last one is this beautiful yellow hat sleeve leotard. This is like my Beauty and the Beast like Belle leotard. It makes me feel like a princess, and it's like super thin, which always feels really nice because when leotards have like double lining, it feels suffocating, and then your sweat like kind of like stays in, and it's not the vibe. So I grabbed this one. I think I'm going to start with, should we start with this one? Let's see how we feel. I'm a little scared. I don't know if this makes any sense, but like something about putting a leotard and tights on feels like, I don't even know what it feels like. It almost feels like I'm playing dress up and like pretend world. Does that make any sense? Like, it just is crazy that I used to wear leotard and tights every single day, all day long, and now it's so foreign in my body to put this on, and at the same time it feels like so familiar. Okay, I'm putting you in the bathroom just so you can see the vibes. It's kind of gorge. I'm like too scared to like actually look at myself in the mirror. I'm probably gonna wear it with this skirt. Like any of the leotards that I actually choose, I'm probably gonna throw this skirt over it because this is my favorite thing that I own currently, especially when it comes to my ballet wardrobe. It is this, I think technically it's supposed to be a dress because it has straps, but obviously it would be way too short. I wear it as a skirt. Kind of like covers everything. You can bunch it up. So this is option one. It's not as scary as I thought it was gonna be, but definitely feels wild, if that makes sense. Then we have this one. I just threw these sweats on instead of putting my black tights back on because I'm running late, and putting tights on and off, as much as I love you guys, it's not gonna happen, and I'll like miss the class if I do that. As I was doing that, what do you think about like half leotard ballet person and half like normal person? Like this feels more my speed. I don't know, but I don't love this currently, okay? Option two. This one just feels right. I love this leotard so much, and I haven't even clasped it in the back yet. Can I clasp it in the back? Here we go. This one is just so cozy. I love the sleeves. I love the color. I think it's really, really flattering. This is a big contender. But like the more that I do this, the more ridiculous I feel. Do I really need to wear a leotard for this class right now? Probably not. Will it make me feel better though? Maybe. It could make me feel worse, and that would be terrible. You know what? I'm gonna try the other couple of leotards off camera, and then I'll show you what I'm wearing before I walk out the door, because I still have no idea. And we have to figure out my hair, because the last time I took a ballet class, I haven't been putting like pins in my hair and like doing a bun, but I have been like doing a little claw clip situation, then taking another hair tie and like wrapping it up so I can turn. But my hair tie was at the stage where it like lost its elasticity. There we go. So it was like too loose to hold my bun, but if I wrapped it another time, it was gonna snap. So I was just like struggling the whole time. So I need to figure out a situation. Let's figure out what I'm actually wearing. We'll move on to the hair, then we'll get to class. I'm like breaking a sweat trying to figure this out. Okay, this is probably like the worst angle, worst lighting, but this is what we're working with. I actually put on this old Yumiko that I've had for a million years, and it's actually a size large. I love wearing a size large. I used to order leotards in like a bigger size when I was in a company. My normal size was always like a medium because I'm pretty long, so my torso needed that space. Always felt nice to have like a little bit more room. Some days where I felt like I needed a little bit more room. This was always one of those leotards. It just feels cozy, and that's always the goal. At least that's the goal right now when I'm putting a leotard back on. I don't want anything tight. I don't want anything cutting off circulation anywhere. And then I actually have this old aloe sweater. I can't even remember when I got it, but it's such a little ballet moment. If you told me this was Capezio or Discount Dance or Yumiko or whatever, I would believe it, but it's aloe, and I think it's like the perfect little cover up. So I think that's what we're wearing, and unfortunately, I can't like walk out of the house like this because I live in Boston and it's still freezing outside. So I'm just gonna like throw a pair of sweats on over this, call it a day. We did it, picked out a leotard, and I'm even wearing tights. Who is she? She's a ballerina. And tights for the first time in years was definitely like a mental thing. And while I was in the studio and taking class, I realized that it was such a full circle moment because during COVID, like when things kind of started to open up again, I actually rented out this studio to give myself my own class, and I posted a YouTube about it. I can link it right here. That was like a really emotional video to film, and I remember like all of those feelings when I posted that in 2020. And it was such a full circle moment being in the same space. I honestly think I was wearing like pretty much the same thing. I was wearing my white aloe sweater in that video 4 years ago. I was wearing it today. How cool it was to be in the same space and doing the same things with such a different mindset. I think that was like when I was at my lowest and most vulnerable and most emotional. And I just remembered feeling like I don't know if I'll ever get out of that emotional space, and I don't know if I'll ever have that relationship with ballet where I enjoyed it and I felt like myself. And it feels really, really nice that 4 years later, I'm starting to feel like that. Just goes to show that sometimes things just take some time. You just need to like give yourself some grace, and I don't know, it was a really cool moment. To be honest, wearing a leotard and tights for the first time in 4 years definitely like threw me through a loop a little. Not in like, oh my god, I look horrible, but it was definitely a little different than my sweats that I usually wear. I think it was really good for me to throw them on and feel what that feels like again. And let me tell you, it makes you work a little harder. You can see your lines, you can see your muscles, you can see what's really going on. I'm really proud of myself that I did that. And this is like crazy that this happens, but there were 2 people that came up to me that recognized me from my TikTok, which like doesn't even like compute in my brain. Like, I think I've said this before, but when I post on TikTok or I post these YouTube videos, I forget that like other people are watching them on the other side. Like right now, I'm in my house alone, and sometimes it like takes me a second to like connect the dots. I love when people come up to me and I get to connect with people who follow me because we're usually very like-minded. Obviously, if they follow me, they have to kind of understand what I'm trying to say. So that was really fun. But proud of myself for going to class. I'm proud of myself for being more consistent with taking class. I'm really proud of myself that I threw on a leotard and tights. Just like baby steps. I think this is like week 3 of getting back into ballet after retiring. We're making some strides. You know, I'm still trying to keep that headspace of I am doing this just for myself. I'm still not trying to audition. I'm still not trying to get anything out of it other than a good workout and a feel-good hour and a half. I've really, really, really been enjoying it, but that's the update. Talk to you later. Bye.